Hey everybody, welcome to the Distinctive Agent Show. Today we're going to talk about mid-year reviews. How are you looking? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Distinctive Agent Show. Obviously Todd Conklin. We're here today talking about mid-year reviews. We've just recently closed out the second quarter, 6 months through the year. One of the reasons that we build business plans, one of the reasons that we track and measure the actions of those plans is so that we don't wake up in November and go, oh no, I'm not on track to hit my goals. My Christmas is going to be horrible, right? We do it so that we can make the adjustments along the way so that we have a much higher possibility of achieving and beating the goals. So, first step of any mid-year review is making sure you dig into the data. And folks, this is that moment where we talk about let's focus what's real, not what you're feeling, right? Feel versus real. This is that dig into the data. So what I'm talking about is, are you tracking, right? What was your goal? Are you halfway there? If not, is it the sides? Is it the average sales price? You want to dig into those pieces, right? The other thing that I like to do is make sure that you are pulling the same data points from the entire MLS, because as we know, if my business, for example, is up 4%, and then I look at the MLS and the MLS is up 8%, well, I need to start asking myself the question, if the rising tide that was meant to lift all boats didn't lift me at least to where it is, why not? Where did I miss the tide, right? Also, conversely though, right? So if I'm up 4% and maybe the market is down 16%, and here I'm feeling horrible because my goal was to increase by 20%, really you are up 20% over the market. While it may not be a 20% year over year that you were looking for, you need to give yourself some credit for outpacing the market by 20%. Again, we're dealing with real versus feel, right? Because feel would make somebody go, only 4%, I'm failing, this is horrible. In reality, you're not. All right, so second piece to this, if you're crushing your goals or you're meeting your goals, I'd like to give you a standing ovation, all right? Fantastic. Make sure you celebrate. Remember, you're building your business to have an amazing life. So make sure you celebrate your wins. This is a great opportunity. But also make sure that you go through and you identify the things that are working for you. Very important for you to be able to see what's working and what's not working. Because if you're crushing your goals, it's possible that maybe we can save you some time. Maybe we can save you some money. Maybe we can increase your production. Maybe we can really crush it. Okay? So make sure you do an assessment of your plan and what's working and what's not working. If, on the other hand, you are missing what you had hoped to get to, it's time to have a real tough conversation. Okay? We need to really look at our plan. This is that opportunity for you to pull it out, see exactly how many calls you were supposed to have been making, see exactly how many appointments that you needed to do, see exactly how many buyer sides versus listing sides. Let's really dig into the plan that you developed. How were you going to connect with your different lead sources, and what were you expecting from a lead generation perspective? That's going to take us down a whole bunch of different areas, but here's what I would ask you to do. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Typically speaking, your plan, it only needs a couple of little tweaks, right? We just use the data, right? That's that real versus feel. And then we're going to dig in specifically to the plan. Did we do the work? First question, did we do the work? If you didn't do the work, it's going to be really hard for you to answer the question of, was your plan the right plan? Follow what I'm saying? If you did the action items that you committed to, again, celebrate the win. You lived in integrity with your business, with your life. You did exactly what you committed to doing. And if you're still off on your goals, then now we can have a really constructive conversation about how your plan needs to change. Okay? Ultimately, folks, this all comes down to one very specific thing. Maybe it's more, but we have to generate the leads, right? And we generate leads, then we have to convert those leads. We have to nurture them. I think oftentimes people get confused on the lead generation piece. So what I would ask you to do is schedule an appointment with your managing director schedule an appointment with me, whatever it is, but let's talk specifically about the primary sources of leads and where they align. Because a lot of people, they go, oh gosh, you know what? I'm going to do all my business with social media, right? I'm going to generate all my leads on social media. Folks, I'm telling you right now, if that's your strategy, you are preparing for bankruptcy. You are preparing to be one of the 87% that fail. Because here's what happens. If you think about that funnel, right? At the very top of the funnel, if you imagine, it looks like a martini glass, right? At the very top are where the leads are going in. These leads could be 12, 24, 36 months out. Folks, I've done deals where, excuse me, I was in touch with the client for 7 years, right? So way at the top, these are people, you want to bring them in. We need to assess them, right? We need to go through that interview process and figure out where they rank in our deal. But these people up here, it's about nurturing, making sure that we never, ever, ever stop communicating with them until they either buy or they tell you, please don't call me anymore. And then you've got the next, sort of the middle bracket, and those people are somewhere under 12 months, but they're not right now, right? It's probably 6 to 12 months. They don't want to be anonymous anymore. Maybe they want to interact with you a little bit. Maybe they've asked for your newsletter. Maybe they've asked for you to inform them and educate them about properties, as an example. And then you've got the folks that are like right now, right? And so when I think about people that are right now, I think about obviously past client sphere of influence, duh. They can be the other groups as well. I think about, open houses, the people that you meet that are coming in. So we would have to have that conversation about where are your leads coming from. That's really what it's all about if you're missing your goals, right? So let's see. Well, we want to tweak some other areas that we want to make sure that we look at is how we're using our processes. Oftentimes what happens, and this especially are for those of you that are seeing this in your business, those peaks and valleys, what happens is you're not very busy. And so you prospect, right? You're on the phone, you're doing your hours of power, you're doing your open houses, you're meeting all these people, you're just really inspired for whatever reason to make connections and be talking about real estate, right? And then it happens. All your hard work pays off. You start getting some listings. You have people calling and referring you. You have people calling saying, hey, I'm ready to buy or I'm ready to sell. All of a sudden, all that hard work pays off. And you stop doing the very things that got you all of the business. You stop your hour of power, you stop nurturing, you start converting. And so leveraging the processes and the systems and the tools and the support that are available to you becomes critical to you evening out that business. So give you an example, right? We talk about the 40 plus touch plan with your past client sphere of influence. That's your market report. That's your newsletter. That's whatever, right? Your phone calls and your events and all those kinds of things. So much of that is to be outsourced to us, your partner, right? As an example, so that we're continuing to make contact with those very people that have gotten you the business. And so that's just one example. And again, part of your mid-year review, should you choose to have one with your managing director or myself, is that we would go through all of that. But here's the thing, we're halfway through the year. Imperative that we don't wait until the end. I want you to have an amazing Christmas. I want you to buy whatever presents that your little heart desires for Christmas. And the way we do that is we assess ourselves today. We make the tweaks, the pivots, the changes that need to be made to our plan and our execution so that we can have the success in our business that gives us that distinctive life that we all so desperately want. I hope this was valuable to you. If you know anybody else that might benefit from this, please share it, comment below. I'd love to hear your input. And as always, be distinctive.